Not too bad. Got a nice, what is it, tiki bar?
Pole barn.
Oh, very nice. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So it's looks like it's about to start thundering lightning where I'm at. So if I lose you, I blame it on the weather. All right.
All right. Yeah. Same here. Actually, I'm in the Estates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I'll start normally like I start just telling people a little bit of what I've been doing since April. So when the pandemic hit, it started to come more real in March, April. I was thinking of different ways that I could help local business owners here in Southwest Florida, through the struggling economy. And the way that I thought of helping was use the platform that I have, which is Instagram, where I have a lot of followers in there. Just to allow local businesses to highlight their businesses, their services, their products, in hopes that customers would contact them, would go to their stores, or would order from them, and it would help them through the economy, right?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot about so many different things, met so many different people, and in return, businesses are also suggesting that it has worked for them and they got some business out of it. So I'm very excited with that, and very excited to have you here tonight. This is the first patio company that I talked to, so
Cool.
So excited. It's something new, and obviously here in Southwest Florida, we spend a lot of time on ours, right? So
Yeah.
so it's a important part of our homes, and I'm looking forward to talk to more about it. Before I did, though, I wanted to see if you can kind of introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, if you're not from the area, and how did you end up here?
Hey, Felipe, it's so great to be on your show, and thank you for inviting us. Yeah, our friends from Go Naples Home Watch Service were on it, and they enjoyed watching them. And so my name is Mario. I grew up here in Naples, Florida, high school, elementary, middle school. Went to Florida State University, and then after that, I went to Colorado for a couple of years. Checked out the Four Seasons,
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And after that, I came back to Naples. I can't get enough of this beach. Like, this is my hometown. So I started, and then I started doing screens, and I got really into it, and I opened my business about 3.5 years ago now. Yep.
Awesome. And going into the business itself, like you said, you kind of started doing screen, and what was the point at what point you decided that you said, I want to have my own business. I want to be able to provide customers something that maybe, you saw lacking in other companies, or things, you wanted to do things a little bit different. And what were those things?
Well, luckily enough, while I was working for my previous employer, he wanted to get out of the field, and I took the initiative, and I asked him if I can buy his business. He said, yes, please do. And with that, he gave me a year to pay him off. He set me up with a few clients, the product, the materials, and the LLC. And then as soon as I got it, I rebranded it, turned it into my own thing, and started growing from there. I love my community here, and I want to make it look good and service all the people that live here. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
And if we can kind of talk a little bit about all the services that you provide, and a little bit of what are some of the materials that you use, the different things that I don't know much about patios, and I assume most people don't know much about it, right? So if you can kind of put a layman's term for us, what is the work that you do and the different products that people can choose from, so that we are aware of all the services that you provide.
All right, so basically anything that has to do with aluminum that's attached to the exterior of your home. All right, so in a lot of gated communities, you have your front entryways that have the specialty door, the screens, the aluminum before your main door at the house. We can build those. All right, in the back, you got your pool cages. We do everything from one panel to a complete full entire screen enclosure. Picture view windows, anything you want, any size you want. 1-story, 2-story, yeah. So that's the aluminum structure part. Then we have the insulated panels. If you want to have basically an outdoor living space, the insulated panels dampens all the sounds from the rain and any exterior sounds, so it won't be as loud when you're hanging out outside. And they can also come with a fan beam so you can run electricity to the outside with a few fans or lights, anything like that, but still enjoy being outside without being so muggy and hot and uncomfortable. And then we also provide retractable lanai shades. So say if you're in your pool and it's a hot summer day in the middle of the day, and even being inside your pool, you're still hot from the sun, we can install a shading system that allows you to enjoy your pool, but not be scorched by the sun. And then the screen services we provide, you have your standard 1814 screen. So if you're not in a very woodsy area, that screen will be sufficient enough for you. But let's say you are in the woodsy area, a lot of wet climate near a canal system, the beach, there's a lot of no-see-ums out there. So we can also provide the 2020 no-see-um screen. We use Pfeiffer products, which is the best, and yeah, all quality stuff.
Awesome. And you know, I'm assuming you're talking about obviously installing new stuff, but I'm assuming you also do repairs. So if something rips or something breaks or something, you do repairs as well.
Yes, we do. We do all kinds of repairs. Again, the screens, basically screens are meant to last around 6 to 8 years if they're taken care of properly, you know, depending on the weather. So yeah, if you have an existing pool enclosure that have a few screens ripped out, give us a call. We'll take care of that as well. We'll do anything from one panel to a full cage rescreen. Let's say part of your door frame to your screen enclosure got messed up by the pool guy or something like that. He bent it. Give us a call. We'll take care of the aluminum frame, install a new door, anything like that. And let's see. If you want to check if all your screws are rusted out and you see them falling apart, they're falling into your pool, that compromises the integrity of the cage. Give us a call. We'll replace all the screws. You know, make sure they're nice and tight and secured.
Awesome. And I want to get to hurricane part and talk about that because I know, you know, I learned sort of the hard way through Irma about pool enclosures and all the different things. But at the same time, you know, what are some of the things that people can do, you know, regularly, once a year, or how often they should be doing to kind of maintain their pool? You know, one of the things you said, you know, the screens could last up to 6 years if they're properly maintained. What does properly maintained mean, and what people should be doing?
All right, in Florida, we have a very high humidity. So that algae and the green stuff starts growing in your cage. That starts seeping into the cracks. It starts absorbing the moisture or like eroding the vinyl coating, the protective coating on your screens. So you want to pressure wash your cage once every 6 months, the entire cage. You know, you want to get all that debris off. Let the screens breathe and the metal do its thing. And then you want to check your support cables. Make sure they're nice and taut, not too tight, but taut. And then check your screws. Make sure there's no loose pieces of aluminum. And just make sure everything's not crooked or torqued, because then it's applying pressure, too much pressure to another side of the cage, and you don't want that. So a couple other things you can look out for is the super gutter that's attached to the cage to your home. Make sure that's not leaking. If that starts leaking, that's not a good sign. Water likes to travel. It can either travel up towards your fascia, or you can start getting stains all over your pavers or your patio floor because of the constant dripping. And then once hurricane comes, we'd suggest take a few screens out. You want to let the water pass, the airflow pass through, and not create such an uplift in your cage. That's where the major of the damage comes from. So take a few screens.
Is that why during hurricanes some people will actually cut the bottom ones, like
Yes.
purposely cut the bottom ones?
Yes. Yep. So you can let air go right through and through, so it doesn't create like a tornado effect and an uplift inside your cage.
Awesome.
Yep.
You know, I like I was mentioning, I learned through Irma. So I live in a community. We have a 2-floor home, and we had one of those cages, the pool cages that came up all the way to the 2nd floor. And after Irma, that kind of all got destroyed, and it got down, and we had to redo it. We did a 1-level one. Is there any differences between, you know, like the maintenance or the structure that you have to do between, you know, how to maintain a 2-level one versus a 1-level structure?
On that point, a ladder. You know, make sure you still get to pressure wash up there. It does matter. And yeah, just keep a lookout for the screws. Make sure it's nice and secured into either if it's an A-frame or a big mansard, yeah, make sure there's obviously gonna be more weight with a 2-story cage, so make sure that it's properly dispersed and that it's none of the integrity is compromised. But aside from that, yeah, a ladder and just same maintenance.
Same
Pressure
procedure.
wash it, keep a lookout, make sure there's nothing crazy growing on there. I've seen cages with plants growing out on top through the aluminum. So
That's probably not a good sign.
no, it's not. Yeah, pulling out roots out of the aluminum. It's yeah.
So, and you mentioning power washing. That's a service that you guys provided too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes. So if we pressure wash, if you get a full rescreen with us. So if we take down, if you want to replace all your screens on your cage, we'll take it down, strip it, pressure wash your cage, make sure it's nice and clean, and we'll put new screens on. Yes. Awesome. And the pressure washer comes with a full rescreen.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question now. It's not a tricky question, but so obviously when a hurricane hits, and I asked you, I had a roofing company. This week is my home edition, so it's all for
Yep.
about home shows this week, right? So I had a roofing company yesterday, and I had the same question for him. I said, when a hurricane hits, and obviously you have a lot of damaged roofs, so pool cages and all that. You tend to have a lot of companies that kind of either pop up or companies, people doing kind of work that, they know how to do it, but they're not licensed, they're not professionals, or they don't guarantee. How does your company differentiate from, obviously those companies? And, how can people feel comfortable to go and say, okay, I'm picking Suncoast because of A, B, and C?
Well, I've established a solid foundation here with my social media. I made sure I'm very easily accessible and thorough and transparent as well. Also, I'll be honest with them. If a project comes up, I'm going to be like, hey, you're about 4 months out. I'm not going to collect that deposit right then and there and tell them that we'll get to you in 3 weeks. But no, I'll be honest with them with the timeline and keep them updated from, periodically. So I'm just going to be real. And this is my community, this is my hometown. I'm not going to be a fly-by-night. I'm not going to delete my social media or my company, once you give me a deposit or anything like that. And that's pretty much it. Just being straight honest.
Yeah. I remember, now that you mentioned kind of the waiting period, I remember when we did our, we did all the measurements and everything, and kind of, went on the waiting list. We were number 95 on a waiting list right after Irma, right? So, and it seemed like 95 was going to take forever to happen. I mean, it did take, some months, but it's crazy. And I'm assuming that happens to you too after a hurricane. That's when you tend to get busier as well.
Oh yeah. Like we just finished another Irma job about a couple months ago. There's still a few out there.
Yeah.
Insurance claims or something like that. They last for a while, but we'll be straightforward with them and not try to rush anything.
This is kind of getting a little bit out of your business here, but one of the things that I learned too with the pool cage was, I moved from Boston here, so I definitely didn't grow up here. I didn't have pool cages in Boston, right? It's just not a typical thing to have in Boston. And then, I bought the home here, and then Irma came in and hit the pool cage, took it down. And I learned that the pool cage is not attached, for insurance purposes, is not a fixture that it's attached to the house, meaning the insurance didn't cover that. I wanted to ask you, is there anything that people can do, or do you suggest that, once someone puts a new pool cage in, that they call their insurance, make sure that, it's either covered or they pay extra for coverage, or, what is your suggestion in terms of insurance when it comes to pool cages?
I am not an insurance specialist, but I have found that some insurance do claim it. I've gotten paid through insurance companies as well, and some don't. I think you just have to call, make sure it's on your survey, your survey layout of your property, that you have an existing pool cage. Take pictures of it before, and submit it. Maybe part of the roofing claim, because it's part of the super gutter that's attached to the house, and so maybe you can attach the fascia and the gutter system with the cage, because the cage is attached to the super gutter.
Yeah.
So things like that. Take a video, take a picture, call, and have a survey and an existing floor plan that specifies that you have a pool cage there, and then try to get it covered.
Awesome.
Yep.
One of the kind of getting away a little bit from the services and products that you offer, but kind of a question that I ask everybody that comes here on the show. It's in regards to COVID-19. So obviously, a lot of the businesses, all the businesses that I talk to, that they've been affected by COVID-19, some in a positive way, some in a negative way, some not affected that much. How has COVID-19 affected you, both from a business perspective, but also what measures did you have to take to ensure that, you and your employees are still able to work and you're safe, and so are the people that you're servicing?
Yeah, COVID-19 was a big surprise. And so the first week or so got pretty scary. It slowed down a lot. But I'm guessing a lot of people started hanging out in their lanais and started nitpicking their screens. I started getting a lot of calls. Hey, I need this screen done. This door is not working. I guess they just started sitting there hanging out, and they were starting noticing some things and trying to get some the honeydews list to take care of. Yeah. So it was good. It was bad at first, but it turned out for the better. Luckily, me and my guys are from Florida, and the hot weather doesn't bother us. So we stand outside. We wear face covering. We separate. We socially distance, and we don't have to really come into contact because we can walk around. There's an expansive area around the outside that we can walk and travel without coming into contact and still, do our work. Now, yep, we sanitize and just make sure we're covered and socially distanced. Yep.
Awesome. Going back now a little bit to the services, if someone who's looking to hire you, or at least to get an estimate from you, what is the procedure they'll take? They'll give you a call. You come in, you kind of look at the at the area, you measure, and then how does it go from there? Are they go on a waiting list, and then from there, do they pay electronically? And because you're saying you don't really need contact with people,
so usually when they give a call, it's my personal number. So I'll get on there. We'll schedule a date for an estimate. If they want to be socially distanced, I take pictures, videos, and Zoom calls. All right. Then after that process, I take a look at it. We get our measurements, see what kind of design they want, or what they're looking for, what kind of services they're looking for. I write up a proposal electronically. I send it to them via email and text message, and through my software, they can pay through a deposit, credit card, debit card, anything like that. And we go in, schedule the work, finish it, and once they're completely satisfied with the work, then I'll request the final payment, and it can all be done electronically. I have people that call me from Boston, actually, and they do everything over the phone. Hey, I need this, and this done, and I'm like, done. All right, and they pay through the phone, and that's it.
And so then when they get down here, everything's done. And
everything's done. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. You mentioned your phone number. I wanted to see if you can kind of share that with us. Your phone number, website, social media handle, so people that are looking to get more information on you and your services, they can look for that in those, and also give you a call if they would like to.
Yeah. My company name is Suncoast Patio Services. My phone number is 239-651-9606. And if you want to visit my website or social media, anything like that, suncoastpatioservices.com. Same thing for Instagram, Suncoast Patio Services, and Facebook, Suncoast Patio Services. Cool. My tagline is that we are your screen enclosure specialist. And if you can remember, you might get a prize.
All right. Yeah. Well, I was that was my next thing. So we talked about giving a prize. Was it a shirt and a hat?
A shirt and a koozie. Yep. To enjoy your summer months.
Yeah. Yeah. So the steps that people have to take is follow Suncoast on Instagram, follow the real Felipe Pereira on Instagram, and then answer what was the tagline. So if you can say the tagline one more time.
Your screen enclosure specialist.
Okay. So whoever answers first and follow both of us will get a prize, and I'll let you know who it is so we can send it to them. Towards the end here of the interview, what I'd like to do, Mario, is kind of give an opportunity for my guests to leave a message for their past customers, current, future customers, or just a message in general. So I want to give you the mic, give you the floor, and let you go crazy with your message.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, everybody in Southwest Florida. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here now with my career and my job. And I dedicate myself to making Naples look good, Southwest Florida look good, and to provide the best quality service that I can possibly provide. All my work comes pretty much with a warranty. If there's an installation error, give us a call. We'll come out there and take care of it. And that's how I build that reputation. That's how the word of mouth has been spreading. And you can check out all my reviews. They're all basically 5 stars because I answer the call and I show up. And again, thank you everybody in Southwest Florida, and I'm here to help.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for sharing a little bit about you, about your company, and the services it provides. And I'm going to let you get inside, man, because I'm scared. I'm seeing some of the lightning here, and you're sitting outside. I'm like, you better get inside pretty soon. So,
Yep.
all right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you so much.